What's going on, my super fam? And so Wriothesley and Venti's official banner has been dropped, and so as usual guys, let's have a quick discussion about these two banners. There are a lot of stuff I want to talk about, especially for those of you who actually want to pull on this banner guys, because of course I always want to have the best advice to my subscribers. And so guys, with that, let's just dive right in. Now Wriothesley, technically the first 5-star Genshin boxers that we have in the game. I know that we did have Hazel, and then Dia was technically kind of like a Genshin hand-to-hand combat as well, but she was kind of limited to her burst only. So yes, Wriothesley is going to be the official Genshin 5-star boxers, and I can't deny the fact that his gameplay is going to be very fun guys. Animation wise looks absolutely fantastic, and he's also a very good looking character too for those of you who are going for husbando. So of course I know that if any of you who have decided to go for him, definitely you're just going to go for him regardless, right? However, in terms of meta wise guys, I just have to say that he's more or less going to be a preference character. It's going to be very hard for him to compete with the other top tier DPS character, especially we already have so many good cryo DPS in the game, and from the current stats of his scaling, it's going to be rather hard for him to hit that highest meta point. Since some of his best team guys, of course we're not going to be going through all of his teams here, some of his best team is more or less going to be replaceable. So yeah, most of the time you're just going to have Wriothesley there on your team to have some fun and play around with him. Another issue that he's currently having is of course he's a character that rather reliant on his C1. Of course he is pretty much functional already at C0, but C1 just make his gameplay so absurdly easier that this is more or less the first time that I would say a constellation would be rather better than going for the weapon at first. So yes, of course that's something you want to consider whenever you're going for Wriothesley and you're thinking about investing more into him. But overall, very fun gameplay, and it's going to be a perfect pull for those of you who are collecting husbando. Now as for Venti guys, he has been coming back a lot. However, there's something I would just have to say about Venti is that his value at this point in time isn't really that good anymore, since especially with the fact that most of his gameplays revolve around him helping you with crowd control, but that alone in the game isn't really as good anymore because most of the enemies don't really need crowd control these days, and if you're able to crowd control the enemies, most of them are going to be easier enemy where your DPSs can actually clear them out rather fast. However, the bigger thing is that nowadays there are many teams that has really large AoE damage, therefore they can really take out groups of enemy a lot easier, especially you know like Nilu's Bloom team, Hyper Bloom team, other Bloom team. Yes, Dendro has made a lot of difference when it comes to AoE damage as well, and you know if you have really invested character that has good AoE range of attack like you know Yai Miko, these character can just clear out enemies that is out of your range before you even touch them. And of course anything that his Anemo elements can do regarding 4-piece VV shred, you know other character like Sucrose and Kazuya can already do a much better job. So if you're someone who is newer to the game or is thinking about dropping your pools onto Venti, you really have to think hard about this, because now he's more or less going to be a preference character for you to play around with, and I can't really justify the fact that it's going to be a potential 90 pool drop for you to get a character that is dropped in value at this point in time and miss out on your chances of getting some of the newer Fontaine characters that are going to be very good. So yes guys, that's going to be my saying on Venti, so you really have to take that into consideration if you are really set on pulling for him. Okay, next guys, let's have a look into the banners that has been dropped and the 4-star character that comes along with it. We have Dory, Chongyun and Thoma. Oh my god, this is guys one of the worst banner we have so far. Dory and Chongyun guys, two of the 4-star character that we basically never use at this point in time. Yes, Thoma is very good because he is still pretty much usable, one of the best shield we have in the game, plus he is a perfect character for Persian team. But aside from that, unless you're going for Wriothesley, then trying to go for this banner just looking to snipe for Thoma is probably going to be the worst decision you can make in Genshin Impact. And I just say, yet guys, just either wait for next banner to come, because I'm sure next banner would have much more decent 4-star character, or guys, just go ahead and pull for the 4-star character on this current banner of New Villette, because Fischl, Xingqiu and Diona, we already have 2 of the best 4-star character, and another still very much usable cryo healer of the game is a perfect 4-star banner for you to go for. So yes, if you are deciding to go for the banner, those pulling decisions are going to be a lot better for your account. Next is going to be the weapon banner, guys. Of course, usually if you're going for the 5-star character, and then it's going to be a perfect pull. But overall guys, I'll just once again say that it's not really another good weapon banner. The only best thing objectively on this banner is going to be the elegy and the Favonius sword. Obviously, if you're going for Wriothesley, the cash flow supervision is going to be the best on him, but overall this weapon is only good on him for the time being. You can technically have it on some other DPS catalysts as well, but guys, seriously, if you're not going for Wriothesley, then don't bother waste a lot of your pool just trying to get a weapon that's not the BIS option for your DPS character. If you're trying to go for the elegy, however, and you actually have the Primo Gem to spare, I'd say think about that as well, because of course elegy is technically the best support weapon in the game. However, first off, you do have to understand and know how to use this weapon properly in order to trigger its passive, but also there are so many other 4-star weapons that is really good for your support character than you trying to get the elegy and potentially wasting a lot of your pool, either losing or not getting the elegy and getting some of the other 4-star weapon that you don't need, and then you can't go for the future Fontaine character that arrives. That is going to be pretty huge, right? So really think hard about that. Regarding the 4-star weapon, we do have the 2 new Fontaine weapons. They're technically the same, just different weapon category. Now I would say that it is usable because overall the weapon's secondary stats and passive is focusing on giving you a lot of DPS power, but they can easily be outclassed by many of the other 4-star weapons that we already have in the game. Furthermore, the requirement it is required to trigger the passive isn't really an easy thing. So again guys, as I've just mentioned, elegy and the Favonius sword is technically the only 2 good weapons on the banner. So next up, let's discuss a little bit about our future banner, because that is definitely going to be important for your decision making. Now we already know that Furina is going to be coming. Obviously we're not going to be discussing too much about Furina at this point in time because it's currently in beta stage, but I know that many of us are going to be saving up for her. So yes, if you want to go for this current banner and also try to go for Furina later on, do keep in mind that it is obviously suggested that you want to go moderately on everything here on the current banner. However, there's also a good thing that since Furina is an Archon, we can kind of know that her rerun banner isn't going to be too long. Technically it's going to be around 2 or 3 patches afterward. So like if you do decide to go on this banner and you know you want to save for other future Fontaine character too aside from Furina, there is going to be a potential skip on Furina next banner and go for her rerun, which is kind of like a safer bet, because on her rerun banner you're technically already gonna know if Furina is going to be a perfect character on your account, because then all of the reviews and testing of Furina has already been out and confirmed. Everything about her has been technically seen on the community, so it's going to be easier for you to be making the decision then. Not to mention guys, many other Fontaine character to be expected, especially you know like Navia. My god, I've been waiting for Navia for such a long time. There's going to be a high chance that Navia is going to be coming after Furina. Hopefully, please hold your verse, don't make me wait for Navia any longer. And yes, there's going to be Siege Ween and Clorand as well. Now I don't know if they're going to be a 4 or 5-star character. Both of them guys just looks to be a 5-star character, but we don't know yet. Not to mention any future potential new character that's coming along as well. And yes, we know how hard it is to be saving up Primo Gems too, so those are going to be big considerations on your part. Guys, that should be everything I have to say on this current banner. I hope that it has been really helpful for you and been able to help you make a better decision on your part. If you do have any questions guys, just leave it down in the comment section and I will get to you there. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as I post a lot lots of Genshin Impact videos that's going to be very helpful to you. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me till this part of the video, and with that I wish you a super day and I will catch you on my next video.